They say a broken clock is right twice a day, and we have the ultimate example of that. Tucker Carlson is calling for Republican Congressman Randy Fine to be removed from the party after Fine said something completely abhorrent. Here's what Tucker had to say.
Congressman Randy Fine of Florida, and he said this the other day on Fox News last week, quote, "In World War II, we did not negotiate a surrender with the Nazis. We did not negotiate a surrender with the Japanese. We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender. That needs to be the same here in Gaza. There is something deeply wrong with this culture, and it needs to be defeated. So we're going to nuke Gaza because of its culture. We're going to kill everybody because we don't like the culture," which, by the way, lots of Christians in Gaza, Muslims in Gaza.
Just innocent people in Gaza of all kinds.
Well, of course, but like to say there's some like Gazan culture that's cohesive, it's like, what? But we're going to kill them all because we don't like their culture. And so I didn't believe that was real. I didn't really think he was a member of Congress. So I texted a friend of mine in Congress, is this really a member of Congress? Yes. It's like, I don't even know what to say to that, but that, first of all, it's evil. But how can you say something like that and not get expelled from Congress or the Republican? How can that person be a member of the Republican Party? I don't understand.
I mean, I understand. Trae understands.
Yep.
This is Congressman Randy Fine. Take a look. This is him right here. Now, Fine was just elected in a special election to fill Mike Walz's seat after Trump selected him to be national security advisor, until he fired him over Signalgate. And it'll likely have to be a Republican that beats him in a primary, because despite Fine underperforming Walz by 10 points in the special election, he still won. You can see the numbers here, defeating James Stockton by 66.5 to 33.5, and over Josh Weil, 56.7 to 42.7. I mean, Tucker's got these questions. How could this happen in the Republican Party? Trae, what are we missing here? The Republican Party allows this?
Yeah, that's the whole. I mean, the first thing I thought when I saw this story was, you are, like you said, the broken clock thing. But I thought of that famous Onion headline or Clickhole headline that says, "Breaking, the worst person you know just made a really good point," or whatever. That's what I thought when I saw it. Because I was just saying a minute ago, it's like, oh, they don't think twice about saying abhorrent things, and they know there's not going to be any real repercussions for it. And Tucker Carlson, complaining about you is not really a repercussion. I don't think anything's going to actually happen to Randy Fine. But still, even like this type of response from one of their, thought leaders on the right is, is surprising to me. But I'm with you. The funnier part about it is like Tucker acting like he can't believe that, a member of the GOP in 2025 would say something insane like that publicly. And it's like, dude, that's like chapter 1. Like that's one of the things that appeals to people the most about about MAGA is saying insane things publicly that, other people wouldn't say because they're not crazy. Like that's like why they're here, so him acting shocked by it or like he hasn't been an active participant in fostering that whole culture and philosophy on the American right now is definitely disingenuous at least. But I obviously agree with him about this particular situation, which I never thought I'd say.
I mean, it's more like he's agreeing with us. That's right. That's the thing, because we can also see that Randy Fine is not alone. We just talked in the last break about Lindsey Graham, and within that, I mentioned another guy, Max Miller, and they're not alone. And you have to look at the actions as well. The entire Republican Party, with the exception of Thomas Massie, the entire Republican Party supports this, wants this to continue. Any attempt at diplomacy, any attempt at a resolution has been, efforts to undermine it have been supported by the Republican Party. So it's not just calling for them to be nuked. It is, what are they actively supporting as a party? And they support the total destruction. You've seen time and time again, Republican after Republican, talking about destroying them, wiping out this ideology. It goes back to the war on terror. The rhetoric is no different. It's just a different set of victims. That's what it is. That's who the Republican Party is. And for Tucker Carlson to still not recognize that, I mean, that might not even be the problem. I think he does. He just doesn't care. This is just one example he can cherry pick and use it to try to give himself cover because he wants to kind of play both sides. He wants to kind of be this unique figure in the political commentary space. He wants to pretend to be anti-war, but doesn't really care that the party he's involved in is the pro-war party. He wants to try to paint Democrats as being a war party, and in large part, many of the Democrats are. This is certainly a bipartisan problem, but you see way more defections on the left from people like Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, the Congressional Progressive Caucus, and who does Tucker go after time and time again for being too extreme? Those people. So if he was really worried about shifting the United States toward a more anti-war culture, he would support them instead of attacking them time and time again. Trae, any final thoughts?
I don't know, man. You kind of said it all right there, I feel like. But I am wondering what his motivation is for it, because it has to be somehow self-serving or whatever. I don't think this is like a glimpse into some sort of actual morality that Tucker Carlson has or anything. Like you said, I guess he's trying to frame himself as being, a kind of unique voice, in that like he will step outside the box every now and then because he's got intellectual integrity. Like that type is what he wants to present. Maybe so he has to pick these moments, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, we'll just continuing this conventional warfare in this area. It has an insane amount of collateral damage. It's tantamount to genocide and everything. That's fine, but nuking them is like, that's crazy, and that is crazy. But I'm saying it's weird to be basically okay with one and then act so taken aback by the other when you're in bed with those people completely. So I don't know.
If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.